right, immigration update on Kababayan LA. Listen up, employers. This one's for you.
This American Dream segment is brought to you by Aquino & Lowe Law Firm, answering your immigration questions.
Attorney Allison Aquino, it feels like forever. When's the last time you were here?
It's been a little while.
Hello and welcome to Kababayan LA.
Thank you, Janelle.
All right, this is a good twist because now we're talking to employers and talking to those who might want to hire immigrants, and we want to make sure that they are in compliance, because what happens when they're not?
Well, there can be severe monetary penalties, and in some instances, even criminal violations may occur, and that may result in jail time.
And how strict is the implementation of this law? How strict is DHS?
Well, employers really need to be mindful of this right now, because one of the focuses of immigration really is ensuring that companies only hire individuals who are authorized to work in the United States. And over the past few years, immigration has actually made that component of their enforcement activity a lot more stringent, and they're going after companies a lot more than they used to.
Can you give us some examples, ICE activities and companies that were fined due to, lack of compliance?
Absolutely. Just as an example, in the state of Massachusetts, back in 2009, immigration only investigated 17 companies and assessed fines against one company. 3 years later, they've doubled the number of companies that they investigated to 35 and actually fined a total of 17. And so over the past 4 years, there has been a steady increase year after year after year, and now oftentimes double-fold of what they were 2 years ago. Investigating companies, making sure that they are properly documenting employment eligibility, and then compliance in general.
Yeah, let's talk about that. So this is serious. General requirements for I-9 compliance.
Exactly. And this is a requirement for all companies, regardless of whether you only have one employee or whether you have thousands. The main immigration requirement is that companies, like I mentioned, verify that an individual is authorized to work here in the United States.
That is when you ask for either a work permit, a green card, is that?
And well, the main requirement is that they complete this form called an I-9 form.
Okay.
And with that I-9 form, it looks like a simple form, and so a lot of companies go ahead and think that they can handle it on their own.
Okay.
But immigration really scrutinizes those forms. So there is a requirement that a company have the prospective employee complete a portion of the form on or before the first day of employment, and then the company has to complete another section of the form before the third day of employment. And as far as documentation is concerned, companies cannot specifically ask for certain types of documents. So as you were indicating right now, companies cannot say, I need your work permit, or I need evidence of your U.S. citizenship.
Why is that?
That's because there's also provisions in the immigration laws that prevent unfair discrimination.
Okay.
And so companies can't, for example, prefer U.S. workers, or in some instances, some companies actually prefer foreigners.
That's tricky, though.
It is tricky.
Yeah.
And that is why a lot of companies, they mistakenly perform discriminatory practices, either in their recruitment, in their advertisements, or as they go through the process of selecting an individual for employment.
And so that's why you need to consult with a lawyer, because there are stiff penalties involved, like we said earlier. What are some of the fines for I-9 non-compliance?
So even just checking a wrong box or not putting in a proper information, a fine for one violation is anywhere from $110 to $1,100.
Wow.
And so companies can be fined for not completing the I-9, for not retaining it, for not making it available for inspections. There's also penalties for companies who knowingly hire individuals who are not authorized to work here in the United States. And those fines can be very severe, ranging from $320 to as much as $16,000 per violation.
Is this related to H-1B violations?
So the I-9 is a requirement for all companies in the United States. H-1B violations, obviously, those pertain to companies who participate and sponsor individuals for H-1Bs. And since 2005, immigration has increased the number of investigations and assessment of penalties against companies as well.
And you have an example of a Filipina who got in trouble.
Unfortunately, and this is one reason why immigration has increased their activities and investigations, because earlier this month there was an individual, Lily Tabafunda, here in Los Angeles, who operates a company, a recruitment agency called People's Resources International Service, and she was just arrested earlier this month for allegedly filing false H-1B petitions with the Immigration Service. So the allegation is that she was filing H-1B petitions by companies who never even knew that they were having these petitions filed on their behalf. Other instances where petitions were being filed and there was never an intention to hire the individual. And so you have individuals who are spending thousands of dollars in the Philippines coming to the United States thinking that they have jobs, and they get here and there's no job available for them.
Oh, wow. That is why you need to have a good immigration lawyer on your side. And Attorney Aquino and Attorney Richard Lowe, Aquino and Lowe Law Firm, they can help you with that. Information on the screen. You want to set up your appointment now. Don't delay. Thank you so much, and more power to you.
Thank you, Janelle.
Sports news when we return on Trouble by in LA. Don't go away.